Welcome to Pull a Pin Radio, a place where average veterans come to share their opinions about the world we live in. We can't guarantee you're going to like our opinions.
Well, we promise you, we can give them to you anyway.
Dude, I was doing good. I'm Jim.
I'm Nate.
I
And
was
let's
doing
pull the pin
good.
ready. You were
I,
doing pretty good.
I
Now,
didn't,
now it's my
yeah.
turn to laugh because I figured you were going to laugh.
I
But
was squeezing that one in like a fart in church.
like we said, we started to show off with a smile.
Yeah, let's do it because I think we're going to have a good one because we got some headlines today.
Ooh, doggy.
Yeah, some really, I don't know. I mean, news is getting kind of boring. Sometimes it gets boring watching the same stuff over and over too. But some of it's enlightening. So why don't we talk about some headlines, whether we've read the articles or not, and share our opinions. Why is our opinion important?
You know, we're just average veterans who've been around the world and we know everything.
Yeah, and we're going to tell you how to respond and react. Even if you haven't read it, we haven't read it. It doesn't matter. We can just tell by the headline what this is all about, and what you need to know. So save you some time from watching, all the stuff. Even though Johnny will look up some articles for us. Johnny, you think Johnny reads the headlines or reads the articles?
Probably not.
He posts a lot of headlines for us because the dude really needs to just be on the payroll, right? And he'll get the same cut we get of nothing. What is 33% of zero?
Still zero.
Okay, so let's consider him on the payroll then.
All right. Johnny,
so
you're in.
he does supply some headlines, but I wonder if he reads the articles. Why don't you comment on that for us, Johnny? All right, let's get into headlines because that's what we're here for, right?
Well, if we're adding people to payroll, let's add Christine too. She can get
she could be on the payroll.
25% of zero, so we're good.
All right, fair enough. All right, so let's get into the first one. Army Reserve soldier suspected in Maine mass killing had mental health issues, purchased guns legally. This headline alone, I mean, there's a whole lot to unpack here.
First of all, anybody that does a mass killing has mental health issues. It doesn't matter what you tell me. If you're doing mass killing, you have a mental health issue.
Correct.
So,
right. I mean, unless you're a soldier on the battlefield and you don't consider that mass killing, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's at war. That's not just in the United States just doing mass killing.
Innocent people, right? Non-combatants.
Yes.
Right.
I did hear he had a military background. I don't know if he was still in the military or did he kill himself though anyway?
No, I don't know. I didn't follow this because, like I said, the moment these stories happen, it's no longer about finding out why they happened. I mean, obviously, we know that mental health is part of this, but it just turns into some political football. They get kicked down the field, and you know what I mean? Because if the dude was a transgender, it would be gone. The story would have been nobody even know the story happened. You know what I mean? Or they'd know because they first think it was a racist thing or something like that. But then once they find out what the real facts are, they'd hide it because it doesn't fit their narrative. So it tells you they don't really even care about the mass shooting, which is sad for the families, for the people in Maine. It's just sad. You know, we used to think in the military, we were just a number. But to these politicians, these people are just numbers. I mean, citizens are just numbers. The very people they represent are just numbers to them or political excuses. That's it. So it's pretty sad. But this guy was this the guy that was he was a firearms instructor, wasn't he? I think he was a firearms instructor.
Follow that closely. I think.
Yeah, that's what I think they were first looking for. The dude who was a firearms instructor. But I mean, mental health issue. You know, look, I'm gonna talk about it now. It's gonna come up probably in a couple headlines, but I'm gonna talk about it now. This is the problem. Soldiers or veterans. I don't want to say soldiers because Marines don't like that, but veterans. Period. They're an asset and a liability. I mean, think about it. Like they're trained to protect, but they've seen and been and done things that, could be mentally damaging.
Yeah.
And there really is no support system for them. I know you want to pretend there's, not you directly. I know they want to pretend that, the VA healthcare, all they did. No, there's really no support system. Believe me, I live around a whole bunch of veterans, and that's why we even started this. To provide some support for people who don't feel like they're being heard or have a voice and they think people don't care and, just to get an outlet, but, I don't know. It's a curse and a blessing. And I think die by the sword, live by the sword, I mean, this is the risk you have to take, but, there needs to be better support.
Yeah. And not just for veterans, for anybody that has mental health issues,
Correct.
it's not always veterans doing these mass killings. It's other people too, but the mental health is out the window. It's just like, let's blame it on the gun. Let's not fix the problem. Let's blame something else.
And that's the thing too. And how many people are invested in this? Like we're doing something. Okay. Whether you like our show or not, you have an opportunity. If you're a veteran, you have an opportunity to come on this show and talk with us, joke, laugh, whatever. We're doing something. How many people are just sitting by, blaming somebody or just doing absolutely nothing? I get it. It's hard to know what to do, but do something. And I read an article the other day and it was really inspiring. It was about a teacher who every Friday she would have all her students write down who they want to name three kids you want to sit next to next week, and then one kid who's like the best in the class or something, who they think is the best in the class. She'd do this every Friday, and she said this has nothing to do with a seating chart. She could care less about the seating chart. She said what she was looking for was kids that were bullies, kids that were being outcasts and weren't getting a voice or recognition. And I thought it was amazing. I said, I try to teach my kids to go sit with that kid who has no friends at lunch.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I try to teach my kids to do that. Now, granted, that doesn't mean they're going to do it because obviously they're kids. But this is amazing. And I commend that teacher, and I recommend all teachers do stuff like this. And this is how we combat this stuff. Because I could tell you as a veteran, I'm not diagnosed PTSD. And this is the very reason why, when we'll get into it, but I've seen and done a lot of, stuff that I have to, process. It doesn't go away. You know what I mean? That's kind of why we're here. We have to process stuff. We can't look at the world and say, wow, that makes sense, and be okay with it. Or we can't look at it and say, that doesn't make sense, and just go drink our tea. That's not what we do. We spend our lives defending this country. And somebody had to convince us to go overseas or wherever we went and take another man's life for a good cause. Somebody had to convince us that that was important enough. And then when you find out, you get back and you realize it probably wasn't important. Here you are looking at taking somebody else's life over some political squabble that was not even intended to be, legitimate, but yet here we are. That's stuff you got to process. Anybody out there who thinks taking a life is like a video game, you're evil. I mean, you're just evil if you think it's that easy. So anyways, I feel like I'm going on a rant, but the point I'm getting at is this dude needed help. He didn't get help. And the problem was he was trained to do whatever he could do. And he even asked for help. I think he was in a clinic for 2 weeks or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
I think your laundry's done.
Yeah, my laundry's done. So is that a headline, I guess? All right. So this is exactly what I was talking about. Bill giving veterans deemed mentally incompetent easier access to guns gains steam with Senate approval.
Why? How? Why?
I don't even care about the bill per se, because this bill can be written either way. And that's exactly my point.
It could be bill giving Americans deemed mentally incompetent. Why?
Right, but that's what I'm saying, though. Well, sure, you would talk about the specifics of it. I mean, I'm concerned with the fact that this is the problem. It doesn't matter. They're going to come for your guns. Now, if you legitimately shouldn't have a gun, okay, but how do you deem that? What do you call mentally incompetent?
Yeah, who determines that?
You understand what I'm saying? It's like, so you got a school bus driver who's been dealing with nasty kids for 13, 14 years and finally snaps one day. What could you have done to prevent that?
Not put my badass kid in that school bus.
Right? You could have raised your kids right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the point I'm getting at is as far as this stuff, these laws go, it doesn't matter. I mean, you're never getting rid of guns, so stop it. And even if you got rid of guns, you're never getting rid of weapons or evil. It just exists. So what we got to do is overpower evil with good, and that's how we win. But the point I'm getting at here is none of these laws are going to matter, because unless somebody legitimately tells you or does something overtly to convince you that they're mentally incompetent, anybody can be mentally incompetent. Hell, there's a whole Democratic Party that's mentally incompetent.
That's your opinion.
Yes, exactly. And I think that we should have a bill for that.
And it matters.
We should have a bill for that.
Here's a bill.
California's gun ban allowed to continue by appeals court, and this is exactly why,
Well,
because it's happening.
that's what you voted for, so let's tell you what you want in that state, right?
And I'm okay with that. Like you said, I'm okay with that. I think every region should have their own rules. Whatever those people want, that let them have it. I just don't agree with them pushing it on the rest of the country. I don't agree with them forcing their ways into other states' business. Yeah, I mean, as a country, we have to have values. We have to have some sort of standard. I think it's called the Constitution. I think it was written, long when we established this country. But other than that, the states can choose whether they want drag queen stuff in their schools or not. I mean, matter of fact, you may even narrow that down to cities. Let these cities choose what they want. Let the state not be involved in all that crap. You know what I mean? And I'm okay with that. I don't think it matters whether I believe in abortion or not. I don't think it matters whether my state says it's legal or not. Yes, I'd like people not to be committing abortion, but I mean, at the end of the day, what am I going to do? Fall down the stairs or grab a coat hanger? Like, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? Hold them down while they're through their whole pregnancy? Like, what are you going to do?
Right, yeah.
So at the end of the day, what the hell difference does a rule make? Now, if you make the law so the doctors don't do it, well, they're going to do it underground. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. So if a town wants abortions, if doctors want to go become doctors and they want to do abortions, go for it. I mean, that's their business. They're going to do it anyway.
Right.
What good is a law? Put doctors in jail and then what? Then we don't have doctors healing people because they were doing abortions on the side? Like, come on, dude. It's just like cops now. You can't even find good cops because they're villainizing police. And don't get me wrong, there's bad cops out there.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I've worked with a bunch of them. You know what I mean? But the point is, you just can't vilify a whole, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Why am I lost the word?
Profession.
Profession,
Profession.
man. I mean, duh, like that's an easy word too. I'm such a professional myself, right?
Yeah.
You know? So you think California is banning guns. Like, I think that's a great thing. I think it's awesome because it'll be a great example for the rest of the states. Because people,
They're only banning guns for law-abiding citizens, right? Not for people that don't obey the law, right?
well, I'm assuming it's banned for everybody, but they're so lenient on criminals, they're so light on crime. Let's just see what happens. And if it really works, then that's great. But don't do it in
It,
my state.
it's funny. I just saw in one of these, I forgot what city it was in, but the mayor was complaining about all the crime in the city now, and
Well,
now,
New York, because
now,
he's the
now
one.
they want the DA to do something, and now they want the police to do something. I'm like,
Right, but you know what it is?
your policies created this to begin with.
Yeah, it's New Yorkers. I mean, it's like just like it's the typical New York thing, that just like the mayor did there. Let
Don't
all
say
the
New
immigrants in.
Yorkers, New York Cityers.
Yeah, the city, right? Yeah, I got a lot more respect for upstate New Yorkers, but because they don't even want to associate with New York, the city. But that's what I'm saying is like, what did they do? They cry, oh, let the immigrants in the country, blah blah blah, and then when they start coming in there, it's not your cats in there.
Oh
Then
yeah.
they start coming in there. Dude, it's about money. They just want more money from the government. They want your tax dollars to pay for their bad decisions.
Oh
That's
yeah.
all these states are doing. That is exactly what they're doing. While these politicians sit in their little McMansions or mansions with their walls and guards while you suffer. They don't give a
Now we
damn.
need federal funding for a problem we created our own. No, no, use your
That
own state funding.
But
Use your
that's
own
how it
city
is,
funding.
dude.
Yep.
But it's just the same the concept. So then they'll use their state funding, and then all of a sudden they don't have funding to fund the health Medicaid thing that they need to take care of their citizens. That's humanitarian. That's what these people do. They twist it into something that'll tear jerk you. Lately it's been just outright boom, the racism, sexism, all this stuff. They just go right to it. But before they used to make it about that so you couldn't get out of it.
It's kind of like you said before about joining the Air Force. The Air Force uses all the money to take care of their airmen. Oh,
Mhm.
now we need money for a airstrip. Okay, well here you have to have an airstrip, so here's the money for that.
Yes. And that's what these people do. They move their money around. And that's exactly the perfect example was Hamas, or Iran even. When we're giving them $6 billion or whatever the money was, people are like, oh no, that's for humanitarian needs. Yeah, okay, so they spend on humanitarian needs, and then they take their humanitarian money and buy missiles. Like, come on, you morons! It's not that complicated, but that's what the people do. It's a little deception tactic.
Well, here's budgeting at its finest.
Oh yeah, well this is good, and this is probably why this guy went all crazy. But he was a
That's what I
reservist,
was going
right?
to say too.
Soldiers unpaid. National Guard hasn't paid out thousands of enlistment bonuses.
Yeah, right there can be a starting problem.
Well, who funds
Not
that?
the state. I think National State funds National
Well,
Guard. I believe.
National Guard is funded by the. I mean, it's funded fully by the state, is it, or is it supplemented by the federal?
I don't know. I was active duty. I don't know.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, I was never in the National Guard. I was in the reservists, but
Oh,
because I think they can call them up, right? But the
the state
state
can.
has to
Yeah.
approve it.
Right.
No,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
DC
Yeah. Yeah.
called them up, but the state has to approve it.
Right. I
So
think then they're funded by federal, probably if they get like deployed, maybe
yeah,
then
I'm
they're
sure
federal.
that right. Huh, that's interesting because I don't know. Maybe somebody out there in National Guard would know about this that can
Yeah.
drop us
So
something in the.
maybe this is a state problem.
Yeah, and it more than likely is.
Well, it looks
But
like if 1,000 enlistment bonuses, a couple state problems. I don't know.
yeah, but maybe these guys can say, "Oh, we need more money from the federal government because we can't pay for our military." You
I
think?
don't know why we have a recruitment problem though.
Yeah, no clue, right? Well, this is
If we can't pay the people that are already in, why the hell am I going to join and not get paid?
yeah, dude. How many times you been promised something and not gotten it? You know what I mean? Like this is a normal tactic. Well, either way, our military's going to crap. It's
give me
everything's going to
give
crap.
me the 3 places you want to be assigned after basic training. East Coast, East Coast, East Coast. All right, we're sending you to Fort Hood, Texas.
Right,
Thanks.
exactly.
What the hell did I fill this thing out for?
Exactly. It's just crazy, right, dude? I don't
Yeah.
know. But anyways, it doesn't surprise me nobody wants to be in the military. Doesn't surprise me nobody wants to be in law enforcement. They demonize these people who are trying to do good for the greater cause of everyone. No matter if there's good or bad people in there, you're gonna have bad people everywhere. So yeah, we're just gonna get off because it's yeah. Anyways, thanks again, Nate, for showing up. Thank you all for your likes, share, subscribe, comments. Let us know with the National Guard how it works because I'm not really interested in looking it up. But until then, Godspeed.
And pull the pin already. Boom.
Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.